I welcome each and all of you to the 24th Annual Partnerships Council Recognition Breakfast. For several years, Ms. Beth Fisher has graced us with her presence as the Mistress of Ceremonies, and we are happy to have her here with us again this year. Ms. Fisher is an anchor and reporter for the Michigan News Network, a venture of CBS Radio. She can be heard reporting throughout Michigan on weekday mornings. As she said, she was up at 2:30 this morning, and she is almost every day. So again, we really appreciate that she's here. She has been with her station for 20 years and has also worked in Cleveland, Toledo, and Marietta, Ohio. Beth is married to Ed Corey, who anchors the Bloomberg News Report on WWJ and has 2 children who are now in college. Beth also enjoys tennis, reading, and spending time with her family and her friends. Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome our Mistress of Ceremonies, Ms. Beth Fisher.
Thank you, George. Good morning. How's everybody been doing for the past year? Everything okay out there? Well, in addition to, having 2 kids in college, over the past year, I've also been raising a puppy. I think I lost my mind. They said it was the biggest and the most active in the litter. It's a collie puppy. I ignored that warning and went right on. It is the biggest and most active in the litter. It has been a wild year. He's a gorgeous dog, but it's been loads of fun. Chewed carpets, chewed this, chewed that. But he's a lot of fun, but it's been busy. We're going for more training. But it's good to be here again, and I want to welcome up the president of the Southfield Public School Board, Mrs. Betty Robinson.
Good morning, everyone. I want to welcome everyone and acknowledge the 24 years that Partnership Council for Education has been in operation and supported Southfield Public Schools. I am very pleased with the tremendous contributions of all of our partners that participated on this council. Joining us this morning, I would like to introduce a few special guests. I would like to introduce the Southfield Board of Education. Will your members please stand? Vice President Darrell Joyce, Secretary Leslie Love Smith, Treasurer Yolanda Charles, Trustees Talisha Rice, Charles Hicks, and Michael Poole in their absence. Again, welcome to the 24th Partnership for Education Breakfast. I would also like to introduce at this time our first, any dignitaries in the audience. We have anyone from the police department, please stand. The fire department, please stand. Our judicial system, would you please stand? And city council members, would you please stand? I saw Miss Banks. Nancy Banks is here. Is there anyone? Could you please stand? Okay. Thank you. Our first speaker is Mayor Kenson Siver, whose Southfield political, education, and community involvement career spans over 40 years. Dr. Kenson Siver was sworn in as the 6th mayor of the city of Southfield on November 16, 2015. He has lived and worked in Southfield since 1967. He taught English, journalism, and American history at Thompson Junior High School from 1967 to 1977. From 1977 to 1986, he was on a split assignment, teaching journalism at Southfield High School and serving as the Southfield Public School Community Relations Officer. In 1986, he was promoted to Director of Information Services, and in 2004, to Deputy Superintendent of Schools. He retired from Southfield Public Schools in 2011, but continues to serve as a school volunteer. Kenson Siver is a true Southfield enthusiast. He cares deeply about the city and its people. He brings a wealth of community experience to the office of mayor. Please join me in welcoming Dr. Kenson Siver, Mayor of the City of Southfield.
Well, good morning, everyone. We can do better than that. Good morning, everyone. All right, we're back at the partnership breakfast. What I have to say is going to be shorter than that introduction, but thank you so much, Betty. As Betty said, we've had the Partnership Council for 24 years. It all started in 1992 with the district's strategic plan, and we had a 10-point plan. Susie Goldstein will remember that, a former councilwoman, and who's been on the Partnership Council, I think, since the beginning, correct? But it's been, of all one of the many things that we did in that strategic plan, this was incredibly important because the Partnership Council, and I'm speaking specifically to the non-educators in the room, those of you that are here today, this is so important that you come into the schools. A lot of the kids need to imagine the possibilities. They need to see a pathway. They need to see that there's life after K-12 education, and you help provide that. And you can inspire them and direct them. Think back on your own years in school, and many times we were all a little unsettled about what we wanted to do, what we, where we would end up, and this. This contribution coming into the schools is, tremendously important. So I want to thank all of you for that contribution, and I see faces here today that have been here year after year after year, companies and individuals that are supporting our schools, and so thank you very much for that. And I'd also just like to say that our superintendent, Linda Wood, is retiring this year, and I appreciate the service that she's given to Southfield schools, as well as bringing, and I worked side by side with Linda for many, many years, as well as bringing some very needed changes to the school district. We have to face times change. We have to face the changing realities, and Linda brought that. So, congratulations to Linda. I know we'll be saying more before your retirement begins, but again, thank you all.
For more than a decade, Dr. Grant Chandler has designed and led professional learning experiences at many levels of the K through 12 arena for a variety of audiences. His professional work focuses on district-led rapid turnaround, executive coaching, curriculum, formative assessment, improving classroom instruction, creating high-performing districts, standards-based grading, evaluation, and leadership training. In addition to serving as a national consultant, Dr. Chandler is currently the project director of MyExcel, where he's responsible for developing and installing the coherent approach used by 50 intermediate school districts. Please welcome Dr. Grant Chandler.
Good morning. It is an absolute pleasure to join you for this partnership breakfast. Thank you for that lovely introduction. What I do, and I have the privilege of spending my day every day working with 155 school districts across the state of Michigan that are involved in My Excel, the statewide system of support through the Department of Education. And with that work, we also work with 49 intermediate school districts, including Oakland schools here in Oakland County. And, you know, on your travels, you meet a lot of amazing educators, right? I mean, you can imagine the amazing people that we meet in 155 different locations across the state. And as you can imagine, we have a few favorites, right? I'm human, right? And Southfield is one of our favorites. And the reason that Southfield is one of our favorites is because everybody that you meet, that I have the privilege of meeting in Southfield, is committed to children, right? To enhancing the lives of children, to saving children's lives. And so I had the pleasure of meeting your superintendent earlier this fall. And since October, I think it was, when we didn't know each other from anyone, right? We're like, who are you? I've had the privilege of spending almost a month working throughout the school year with various leaders from this organization. And everybody that we come in contact with is completely dedicated to what I think is the most important thing. You know, schools are schools, and there's politics in schools, and there's never enough money in schools, and the issues we could go on and on and on and talk about. And I'd be happy to do that, but I don't know that you want to be here all day, right? So, and you certainly don't want to be here all day listening to me talk about that all day. So, but what is refreshing about this district, and I think events like this are absolutely an example of that, is how dedicated educators in this community are to doing what is really right, and that is saving the lives of children. And you see that in many places in this state, but you do not see it at the level of intensity that we see it in this community. And it is refreshing and exciting to spend any time we ever get to be in Southfield. And so I am thrilled again to be able to be here today and share with you a few comments about why I think what you are doing together as a community is so important. If you think about the work that educators have to do in an incredibly complex world that we live in now, it's tough. It was tough 30 years ago when I started as a newbie fresh out of college, right? And as a teacher, I thought that work was tough and important then. But think about the world we live in and the uncertainties that we have as young people growing up and trying to figure out how they find a place in this crazy world that's changing rapidly, sometimes for the good, sometimes for the not so good. And, you know, it's difficult growing up, you know, as a young person, and, you know, trying to be as educated and as smart as possible and as college and career ready as possible. And yet we know there are many, many obstacles to what happens to a child as they go through a K-12 experience. And that's why this is so important. In one hand, we want to make sure that every child is successful. Well, I go everywhere and hear that, and I haven't met an educator yet who doesn't say, hey, it's about making sure that all children are successful. But what does that really mean? Right? Beyond test scores, beyond state accountability, and beyond politics, we are preparing children for a world that doesn't yet exist. Right? If we think about, I have a 19-year-old at home and a 2-year-old puppy. I didn't sleep for the first 4 months that she was there, right? She's a little diva, right? And she doesn't think we should. But I have a 19-year-old, and you know, who thinks he wants to be a lawyer, right? And he just finished his first year of college. But by the time he's out of his undergrad, and by the time he even thinks about law school, or by the time he graduates, the world we live in will be a vastly different place than where we are now. And if you think about our children who are still in K-12, especially the young ones, right, in kindergarten, you know, 5 years old, what that life and what that world is going to be is very difficult for us to even begin to comprehend. And so the schools have a really tough job. Because no matter who they are, right, no matter what background they come from, no matter how prepared or not they are for K-12 education, this district welcomes them and does what they need to do to enhance those lives. And sometimes that's really easy, and sometimes that's really hard. And what is really exciting about this district is that they are up to the challenge even when it's hard, right? Many districts are happy to do the work around with children to make sure you get as many to Harvard as possible, make sure you get as many to U of M as possible. And that is absolutely important, and it's work that we need to continue to do. But this district is also committed to the children who struggle, right? And Linda, Dr. Wood and I were talking a couple days ago, and we're doing work together. And so I shared with her a vision for what we think that work should look like. And part of that is a ferocious unwillingness to allow a child to flounder or to fail. And when you talk about that with Southfield leaders, I mean, they absolutely nod their head and go, absolutely, whatever it takes. And so part of what we're doing in the future is to explore what does it mean to support and enhance the lives of children who are going to go on to do amazing things, who need a little bit of support and guidance along the way as they go off to do great things. And what does it mean to really support every single student who comes into this district, no matter how prepared or not they are to do the work? And that's a tough challenge. And when a district stands up and says, we're going to do that. We are going to provide that level of support so that we are not going to allow one Southfield student to fail or even to flounder. That's a tough challenge. That is a tough piece of work that they have agreed to do. And I think what's so important is that they've recognized that they can't do it alone, right? That what's so important about media, about the work that you're doing and about events like this is that you show how important it is to connect the school to the community in a way that is profound and meaningful, so that you can do the great work that you do to enhance the lives of all those students who are off ready to go and do great things, and to save the lives of children who need that additional support. So for me, as your keynote speaker today, that's the most important thing that I could possibly say to you is thank you for reaching out and being a true and viable partner to an amazing school district who is committed to every single student who ever walks in the door. And I thank you for those partnerships. I thank you for all of the support that you provide. And I want you to know that you are part of the equation. Southfield Public Schools cannot save or enhance the lives of children without you. So when you sit here today and you celebrate all of those wonderful things that you are doing to help, I thank you for saving the lives of children. Thank you.
Thanks so much, Dr. Chandler. Now we'd like to welcome back George Chapp, Director of Secondary Programs and Partnerships, to the podium to recognize all business and community partners in the program. George?
Thank you, Beth. We invite, as a school district and a community business, community and school partners who have worked with Southfield schools this past year in meaningful relationships. Large organizations, small organizations, governmental entities, not-for-profits, and individuals have all come forward to create and expand partnerships that support curriculum and provide real-world experiences for our young people and opportunities. And so we celebrate every relationship with every partner every day as meaningfully as we can. On behalf of the Partnerships Council for Education, Chairperson Katz Freeman, and our other council members and our advisories, please accept our sincere thank you as a school system for all the work that you do.
The first award is the Community Partnership Award, and that goes to Project Lead the Way Michigan, represented by Frank Norton, for their support and dedication to enhancing Southfield Public Schools engineering and biomedical programs. Accepting for Project Lead the Way Michigan is Frank Norton of Eastern Michigan University. He doesn't want to say a few words, but he thanks you all. Now he does. Now he does. He says I've bullied him.
See how it is. No, I was a little surprised by this. Was not expecting this. George told me when I showed up today, so I was expecting to sit here and be able to go on my way. But I got to say that thank you for this, but I can only really accept it because of you. The partnerships that we do and the partnerships throughout the Michigan and the country make schools successful. And moving forward in the future, it's only going to be because of the partnerships between education and business and industry that we are successful. Education changes too fast now. The workforce changes too fast. And without your input in schools, it's not going to be successful. So thank you.
The second Outstanding Large Business Award goes to St. John Health, MSU College for Human Medicine. Providence Park Hospital is a part of St. John Providence, one of the largest providers of inpatient care in Southeast Michigan, and a Ministry of Ascension, a faith-based healthcare organization dedicated to transformation through innovation across the continuum of care. As the largest nonprofit health system in the U.S. and the world's largest Catholic health system, Ascension is committed to delivering compassionate, personalized care to all, with special attention to persons living in poverty and those most vulnerable. In fiscal year 2015, Ascension provided nearly $2 billion in care of persons living in poverty and other community benefit programs. Approximately 160,000 associates and 36,000 aligned providers serve in 2,000 sites of care, including 137 hospitals and more than 30 senior living facilities in 24 states and the District of Columbia. In addition to healthcare delivery, Ascension subsidiaries provide a variety of services and solutions, including physician practice management, venture capital investing, investment management, biomedical engineering, clinical care management, information services, risk management, and contracting through Ascension's own group purchasing organization. Accepting on behalf of St. John Health, MSU College for Human Medicine, Mr. Joseph Hershey.
Well, good morning. It's so great to see everybody, and it's so great to be here. I have a PowerPoint slide that's 137 slides long, so I'll go ahead and get that started. In all sincerity, it's an honor to be in your company. It's an honor to work here in Southfield, Michigan. When I look around this room this morning, I can't help but to notate that I'm in the company of some pretty fine people. So allow me to congratulate you and give you all a round of applause for your service to our youth each and every day. And for all the hard work that you do. So thank you. As one of the largest employers within the city of Southfield, and certainly with a newfound affiliation with Michigan State University, education is at the forefront of everything that we do. And we are so delighted to be a part of the Southfield schools. We are so delighted to be able to offer internships, career exploration, and opportunities for young people to go into healthcare and to the allied health professions. I stand before you today to tell you that we employ over 4,000 people that come to work each and every day at 9 Mile and Greenfield. I stand before you today to tell you that we have over 1,400 members credentialed on our medical staff. They are aging. They are getting to a point in their career where they're probably on the back nine with the clubhouse in sight. We need youth. We need folks to choose healthcare. We will train them. We will keep them here locally in Southfield, in metropolitan Detroit, and in Michigan. So with that, to those of you that are Spartans in the room, we are Michigan State University. Go green, go white. And for this Southfield kid that stands before you, who's the product of two public school educators, It's an honor. It's a pleasure. If you have the opportunity to come into our hospital, this award will be proudly displayed in our trophy case right off of the main lobby. So I thank you, and with that, I wish you a wonderful afternoon today. Thank you.
He's stirring it up, isn't he, with that go green, go white business. All right. Next we have one outstanding staff award this year, and this award goes to Malachi Hampton from Southfield High School for the Arts and Technology. I'm going to tell you a little bit about him. Malachi Hampton is a teacher consultant at Southfield High School for the Arts and Technology. He's also a founder and mentor for Project Manhood, a mentoring organization which guides young men into adulthood. Twice a week after school, Mr. Hampton works to empower 40 to 50 young men. He is also a My Brother's Keeper Southfield chapter executive board member. In February, Mr. Hampton helped spearhead the first Project Manhood Youth Symposium, which brought positive leaders and 550 young men from middle and high schools together for a discussion on leadership, professionalism, manhood, and success. In April, Mr. Hampton led the first Southfield High School for the Arts and Technology job fair, bringing nearly 150 juniors and seniors together with more than 20 employers, where many walked away with job offers in hand. In addition to the job fair, the 9th and 10th graders took part in a career fair. With both of these events, Mr. Hampton positioned the young men of Project Manhood to take the lead in organizing the event and having a say in how the events were conducted. Mr. Hampton insists on putting students in leadership positions, empowering them while supporting and coaching them in the process. He's a difference maker in the lives of countless young people. Mr. Hampton's tireless efforts providing resources to young people are valuable and appreciated in our community. Please welcome Malachi Hampton.
Good morning. Just like I'm humbled and honored to get this award, and I'd just like to say what Dr. Chandler was saying about refusing to let young people fail. I think that not only at Southfield Public Schools, that's what we're about. I think that Southfield, the city of Southfield, is about that, and I really learned a lot by becoming a member of My Brother's Keeper, bringing the community, and Mayor Siver brought the community together with my Project Manhood, and we've just been doing a great job trying to help young men not fail or flounder. So thank you.
Now we have one outstanding administrator award this year, and that award is going to Andrea Tate from Bernie K-8 School. Ms. Andrea Tate began her career in 1980 as a teacher of adult and special education for Detroit Public Schools. In 1994, she began as a special education teacher at Southfield Lathrop High School. During Ms. Tate's tenure at Southfield Lathrop High School, her efforts included expanding the community-based vocation instruction program designed to empower special education students to make a smooth transition from school to employment. Ms. Tate has held many administrative positions at Southfield Public Schools and is currently the assistant principal for Bernie K through 8 school. Over the years, she has assisted with establishing and supervising multiple partnerships. Her most recent work includes the partnerships with Zonta International Female Advocacy Group, Wolverine Pathways, Alpha Kappa Alpha Sorority, John Wesley Church, and 46th District Court. Ms. Tate is committed to educational excellence and has demonstrated the ability to work well with all stakeholders. This year, she is retiring after 37 years of educational service. Please welcome Andrea Tate.
Good morning, everyone. I said I wasn't going to do this. But I am so extremely humble and grateful to even be thought of to accept this award today. And one of the things that I have to say is that throughout your journey, you never get there alone. So there are some individuals sitting in the room today that I'm grateful that right now I have the opportunity to thank them publicly. And one of them isn't here, and that would be my current principal, Mr. Edward Hill, for his mentorship. And then also for my past principals, Mr. Todd Henderson from Southfield Lathrop, Dean Marcia Williams from Southfield Lathrop, thank you. And I'd also like to thank you, Dr. Wood, for your mentoring, for your leadership, and for your guidance. And everything that you did for me during 2 of the most difficult years of my career here in Southfield, and you know what those are. I thank you for your support during that time. And even for Mayor Siver, during his tenure at Southfield Public Schools, every time we would cross paths, where are you, Dr. Siver? Every time you and I would cross paths, you will always have some encouraging words. And I just want to thank you publicly for that. And then, Mr. Lopez, I've learned this from you. Even though it says outstanding administrator, I think I visit there sometimes, but I don't live there. But I thank you for all of those who think that I do. So thank you all. It's been a great journey at Southfield Public Schools. It is an awesome district. And I hate to leave, but I have to. But I thank you all for everything. And I'm looking forward to even volunteering and coming back. Thank you.
Wow, 37 years. That's amazing. Congratulations to Andrea Tate. Now we would like to welcome the Southfield High School A&T Advanced Choir to perform for us.
Children
That was the Southfield High School A&T Advanced Choir under the direction of Jeffrey Martin. Our next award now is the Outstanding Small Business Partner. This award goes to Donner Inc. The Southfield Partnership Council's Business Advisory Committee has been working on the Walk in Reality program for several years. The goal of the Walk in Reality is to ensure that students are prepared for future opportunities. A comprehensive strategy was developed that encourages job readiness, business etiquette, and exposure to work environments. Donner was instrumental in redesigning the work experience component of this program. Donner's job shadowing model was unique and addressed the program's additional needs. Each year, they have opened their doors to Southfield Public School students, creating meaningful experiences for the attendees. Students now have a clear understanding of how numerous skill sets are required for business operations. Now, the talent tour has groups of students visiting a number of companies within our Southfield City Center district. We're grateful to all of the businesses that participate in the program and especially appreciative of the extra effort to Donner for helping to enhance the program. Accepting on behalf of Donner Inc., Ms. Courtney Cooley.
Wow, tough act to follow. Thank you so much for having us here. It's my pleasure to be here on behalf of Donner and to accept this award. Donner is celebrating 80 years this year, so we are proud to be in the city of Southfield and a part of this wonderful, wonderful community. So thank you again.
The second Outstanding Individual Award, oops, I got to start over there. There are two Outstanding Individual Awards. The first one is awarded to Gail Alpert, president of Michigan First Robotics. Ms. Alpert's first season in First was the 1999 to 2000 school year when her son asked her to coach his team. He was a junior at the International Academy in Bloomfield Hills. During the second year after her son graduated, she continued to coach the team and also volunteered on the state organizing committee. At the time, there was one event in Michigan at Eastern Michigan University. By 2009, there were more than 100 teams and 3 events at universities across Michigan. They started their own all-volunteer organization called First in Michigan. Ms. Alpert was the vice president and secretary. They ran 7 events plus a state championship. About 5 years ago, Ms. Alpert became the president. Today, there are 450 teams and 23 events and a state championship. So that has really grown. Please welcome Gail Alpert.
I just want to say thank you so much. I'm so honored to be here and to be receiving this award. Every day I wake up and I think I'm the luckiest person because I found my passion. And that's what we're trying to do with all of the kids that are involved in FIRST Robotics. Ultimately, though, it's our champions within the schools that really matter. And so for that, this award really should go to Joe Minnick, who's been around since 1999, running the FIRST Robotics team at Southfield High School. Thank you so much.
Now it's time for the second Outstanding Individual Award, and that's going to Martin Kinzel, Director at Kamau, a board member of LIFT, that is Lightweight Innovation for Tomorrow Institute, and chairman of the Workforce Development Committee. He was invited to the White House for the official announcement by President Barack Obama that Michigan had been awarded the LIFT Institute. He went to the first Michigan State Championship in 2013 and was immediately taken with the organization and became fully committed to it. Kamau has had a long-standing relationship with FIRST and has for several years both mentored a number of teams and provided facility areas. Kamau has also over the years provided the Kamau machine trailer to many competitions and state championships. It's hosted several FIRST teams at the Kamau Innovation Center over the last several years. Martin has opened the Southfield City FIRST Championship event over the last 3 years and attended numerous FIRST events. This year, Martin was invited to the Michigan State FIRST Championship and met with Gail Alpert, president of FIRST, and spoke with Governor Rick Snyder. Martin is looking forward to the FIRST World Championships here in Detroit in 2018, 19, and 2020. As part of Martin's first role as chair of the LIFT Workforce Development Committee, an idea was developed to increase the number of military transitioning into industry. The idea was officially approved by the U.S. Department of Defense in January of this year. Then last week, Operation Next was officially launched at Fort Campbell in Tennessee, and as part of the program and to honor the home of the 101st Airborne Division, they will transition 101 soldiers from deployment to careers this year and connect these soldiers to hundreds of major companies across the country ready to hire them. Please welcome Martin Kinzel.
So thank you very much. Very honoured to be both nominated and obviously to win the award. It's a massive thank you to all here and also to people at Kamau. Dave Reed there in particular, who's really helped organise events over the years with the high schools, junior schools, etc. But I'd like to personally thank all the teachers in the room and all the teachers everywhere, because as the earlier keynote speaker says, we all remember our teachers, and over the years, they kind of prepare us for where we are now. And I can remember one teacher when I was about 10 or 11, Mr. Kajerski, and he was the guy who kind of set me for where I am today. So with a big thank you to all the teachers in the room, a big round of applause, please. And then to Kamau. I mean, we're formerly PICO, but we've been in Southfield for maybe the last 60, 70 years, and a massive partner with the City of Southfield, with the schools, the organisations. We're working very closely with now with the City of Southfield and some other organisations to try and improve and increase the organisation here. And we also went so far, as you might have seen in the last couple of years with Gail's help, to put a robot in the middle of Telegraph as an entrance into Southfield. And that was to try and promote Southfield as a technology corridor, as a technology area, and promote the whole area in terms of new industry and new technology. So on behalf of that, I'd like to thank you very much and enjoy the rest of the evening, or the rest of the day. Thank you.
Now I'd like to ask Elise Collier to come to the podium to recognize our district's celebrity readers.
Good morning, everyone. The Partnership for Education Council of Southfield Public Schools is the sponsor of a community-wide literacy effort that puts a guest adult in front of our students. These adults are known as our celebrity readers. This school year, there were a total of 428 reading slots. Of the 428 reading slots, 318 slots were filled by our valued readers. We were successfully able to fill 74% of our reading slots. Next year, we challenge all of you to join us in our efforts and become a celebrity reader. At this time, I would like to pause in our program and just ask all of our valued celebrity readers that are in attendance to please stand. We thank you. From the bottom of our hearts, we couldn't do this without you. In closing, I would like to ask for Uni Rose to please come forward, as she is our top celebrity reader for the 2016-2017 school year. Let's please give Uni Rose a huge round of applause. Of those 428 slots, Uni Rose filled about 28 of those slots, almost 1 month. And so, Uni, on behalf of Dr. Wood and Southfield Public Schools, we thank you for being our valued celebrity reader. Give me that.
Yes. All right, there's no laughing allowed. I cannot, I'm going to kick you. This is a total surprise. Did you do this? I cannot thank you enough. There is such a joy in being a celebrity reader. And I have to tell you, I love the kids. I am cuckoo, crazy, nutso for the kids. However, when I come into a classroom, and the teachers know this, poor things, they have to be there in the room with me, because if they're not there, that means they're not having a good time. If they laugh, if they really enjoy the program, the kids are going to love it anyway. But when the teachers do, that is my greatest pleasure. Thank you. Oh, my.
We're getting there. We have one more award to present, so I want to welcome George Chapp to come back up to the podium. George?
So when your boss is privy to these event scripts well before the event happens, you get a little creative about slipping in awards, if you will. The person that is receiving this award, I requested that person's biography about a week and a half ago because that person has had such a rich personal and professional life. And as I read through it, I really realized that the only way to appropriately recognize this individual is really from the heart. This person has given and dedicated over 20 years of her professional life to Southfield Public Schools, the communities of Lathrop Village and Southfield, with distinction and excellence, and has always held herself with the highest level of integrity. Becoming my boss 7 years ago, that has transformed into both a mentorship as well as a personal friendship. The Southfield Public Schools Education Council, and it's not just me, Shelley Freeman was on this, the whole nominating committee, want to recognize Dr. Linda Wood for her dedication and her service to Southfield Public Schools with a special recognition this morning. Dr. Linda Wood, would you please come to the podium?
He is absolutely correct. This is so unexpected because I have been reviewing the scripts for the last few days, sitting down with others. But just very shortly, it has been a true love and a joy. The work that I do, my legacy here in this district, and my love for public education and students and children. It's about helping, and it's about helping children and our adults who are helping our children to succeed. It's about life, and it's about living, and it's about making sure that we push others to that high level of performance as well as the high level of excellence in their lives. I am not through. I am leaving and opening a new chapter in my life as I retire. But I will always be an advocate for children, an advocate for public education. And I heard a soprano over here singing. Oh, beautiful soprano. And one of the things that I also wish to do is the mission of helping others, open up those gifts that they have in their lives. I have a full life ahead, and I live here in the community, so you will see me. And I will be an advocate here for Southfield Public Schools. Thank you so much for the partners here in this room and for the work that we're all doing. Thank you.
I've had 6 children. I have a 6th child that's at Southfield High School. 5 of them are very successful in their in graduating and becoming engineers, and so I know that the partnership in the district has done well in making sure that my children have been successful in this district.
Siemens supports education in a lot of ways. Some of them are specifically STEM here. You guys have such a great STEM program. I've done some research on you, and I thought, oh wow, we can help you guys there through various partnerships with local businesses as well. If you think about it, Siemens stuff is in all these local businesses where these kids hopefully are going to be working one day. So Siemens comes in and supports by providing kits and things to classrooms where they can do hands-on learning.
I think the value in it is that our kids get an opportunity to have celebrities come into our classrooms to read to them and get them excited about reading and help us to get students really, really engaged in what happens inside of a textbook. And so for us, it's a win-win because we bring in our community leaders and members and they get an opportunity to see what's happening in our schools. So often they're disconnected. It provides them a platform to partner with us. And so it's a win-win for the students. They get something out of it, as well as those that are coming to read to our students.